Hey everyone, Mark here, and I'm back at the archery bench today, and today I am going to review a brand new product, a brand new Broadhead from Sawtooth Outdoor Products. Some of the specs on the Broadhead: it is a tempered steel blade. That will give you a 1 1/4 inch cutting diameter. It's a 2-blade broadhead, very sharp to the touch. So all of that top surface, true cut-on contact. They will be in 100 and 125 grain offerings. I like the design. It's considered to be a wedge design, and that's what's going to allow your arrow to be balanced in flight with the bevel on both sides. And it also allows when the arrow enters the animal and does hit, say, a bone or something, it'll wedge itself right in there and split that bone that it's going through. The stainless steel portion of the head itself is angled on either side of the blade itself. Causes a spiral, or causes the arrow to spin a little bit in flight, so it will have spiral wound channel if it's going through an animal. For me, I also like the very short design itself. It's very compact, very similar to a field point. When you look at a field point, you don't have field points that are 1.5 inches long that distribute that weight beyond the front, just to say the front of the arrows. I shot the arrows through my Rich 32 at 70 pounds. This is a 28-inch arrow. It's a 300 spine arrow, and it's 500 grains total weight. With every broadhead, with every fixed blade broadhead, the question is always, does it fly like my field points, or does it require some tuning? So I decided to shoot at 20, 30, and 40 yards with both field points and the A2 broadhead, and just see how comparable my field points were to screwing this broadhead on. Now we are going to unscrew the field tips, shoot to the target. I'm actually going to be shooting through 3/8 inch plywood. So all I'm doing is I'm unscrewing the field tips, both are 100 grain, and screwing in the A2 broadhead. And we're going to check accuracy in the group to see how they compare to the field tips that I've just shot at 20 yards. And then we'll do it at 30 yards and then at 40 yards. So this is the very first time I'm shooting these broadheads. We'll see how it works. One thing to note, these things are extremely sharp, so I've put covers on them as I'm turning them in and out. They are completely 100% sharp on all the front edges. Wow. I'll zoom in on that. At 30 yards with the Broadhead.
All right, this time I'm gonna shoot at 40 yards. I'm gonna keep the broadheads on. Pretty confident that they're flying like field points at this point. Pretty confident that I can hit my mark out there at 40 yards. So I'm gonna shoot broadheads first and then throw the field points on for the accuracy test.
I was pretty happy with the way that the arrows were grouping at 20, 30, and 40 yards. My groups are normally the size of a softball at all of those ranges. So it comes down to probably maybe a little bit more tuning of my own arrow. And then I also took a look at just penetration in general. I've just used a foam target, a block type target, compressed foam, and tried to see, compared to the field points, if I was getting a bit more penetration with the broadhead on it. And from what I could see, I was getting anywhere from a ½ inch up to 2 inches of penetration on the target itself. What else could I test through? So I actually ended up shooting a piece of concrete that happened to be out on the range, and you can see the results. This thing wedged into the concrete. It wedged in the full length of the broadhead, and it was wedged in there. It was stuck, and it took me a bit to actually get this broadhead out. And when I got it out, pretty impressed. A lot of broadheads would be destroyed, and this one I pulled out. It still had the same nick in it, but the rest of the broadhead was intact, and I can definitely just sharpen this thing back up. As far as sharpening these arrows, all you need is a flat stone or honing stone, and because of the simple design, it's only got a bevel on one side. You can just run the broadhead along the one angle, and it will clean up those edges until they're sharp, and you back out and running. You can go out and hunt with this arrow again if you wanted to. So overall, I like the design, the simplicity in the design. I like the arrow flight. If any, very little tuning of an arrow that might have to happen in order to get those groups. The longer ranges, the thing seemed to fly just as good at short ranges and longer ranges. And so overall, I am extremely happy with the shots that I've taken so far, and we'll see how it works when I'm out hunting this fall.